John and Ronnie, back today for one of our discussions. John ran across a vlog video of a couple of people who were putting out videos on anti-swirling and anti-interracial relationships in general. And we watched a couple of them, and basically I watched them was pulling my hair out because I couldn't believe that people were actually kind of spewing forth that hate. Now, you don't have to be down with the swirl. You don't have to like people being in interracial relationships, but I do believe that everybody is entitled to love or be with whomever they want to be with. So I think in this time and, with social media, people just feel that they can put anything out there because it's the cool thing to do, or everybody has their opinion. You're right. Everybody has their opinion like an asshole. That's fine. People may not like what we talk about, but I can't get behind people that spew forth hate and come off like it's some sort of rhetoric that people should be listening to because, what they're saying is correct. But we wanted to address a video that, like I said, John brought to my attention, and we watched it. And this particular person, we're not going to put her on here as part of the video because we don't really want to promote her channel. But we will do some sound bites of what she said because we definitely have some talking points on that. So, without further ado, we're just going to play a few of the things that she said, and we're going to give our take on it, and go from there. We don't always want it to be about race and interracial, relationships, but unfortunately, there are people out there that always make it be about that. So, if you're going to make it be about that, then we're going to address it.
And I think, just basically in a nutshell, we're not doing this video to hate on any one particular person, because I really do believe that everybody should have their own opinion, and you should be able to voice your own opinion, whether I agree with it or not. So it's not about hating a person or a blogger, somebody who did a video that you dislike. It's about hating an idea that actually stems a lot of racism. And that's basically what it's about.
Okay. So with that, we're just going to play...
Oh, wait a minute. Before we do that, this is my militant look. What do you think?
I don't.
You don't like it? Oh. Okay. Never mind.
This is my militant look, and this is how I look.
I liked mine better with the glasses.
And what does that do?
Huh?
And what does that do?
It gives a very different look. I like the look. She was laughing at me today because I was doing my Irish step dancing, but this is even a better look.
Yeah, it's a different video. That cracks me up. So is this how you want to look the whole video?
I kind of liked it. To me,
all right, to
me, it's like intimidating. Okay, let me put the glasses back. It looks like nighttime.
He wonders why when we're out, people think that he's mean and ferocious and, don't mess with me type of thing. That's his badass.
I'm just a little teddy bear.
He is. Yeah. All right, without further ado, let's get into this video because, I don't want to give this lady any more credibility into what, she thinks she already has. But let's get into it. So, see how this works.
Because I feel like it's just such a prominent issue against our people. The media just repetitively promoting us, namely black men, to date outside of the race. And how detrimental this is becoming for us, how it's impacting other black relationships, and how it's just causing such a lack of identity for our people. And in no way, shape, or form does diluting the root solve the issues that are going on among black people. Sometimes I think that swirling, which is the practice of, pretty much interracial relationships. There's been books that have come out. There was a black lady that wrote a book about swirling. She's been doing interviews and stuff like that a few years ago. But by no means does this concept alleviate the problems that we're dealing with. And I just want to encourage you guys to be mindful and think about why exactly would the media be perpetually pushing this. You know, this message really goes out to black men, because I think the push is extremely noticeable when it comes to you guys. They are constantly pairing you up with white women, non-black women all the time. And you have to ask yourself, why exactly are they doing it? I tell people all the time.
And I'm going to stop that right there, because so mainly throughout this video, she's addressing black men with white women or women of other colors. And she seems to think that the media is putting this forth. I don't know if I see that happening in the media the way she does. I see, because there are more interracial couples out there, which I think there's always been. It's just never got the light it is getting now shined on it. So when I see a commercial where there's a black man with a white woman and they have a family, or vice versa, black woman with a white man and they're showing a family, there's a couple of them out there. When I see these commercials, and I assume that's what she's talking about when she says the media, or maybe shows, I'm not exactly sure, can't speak for her, but when I see that, I see that now you're being inclusive, because it was always there, you just didn't want to talk about it. And let's be real, there are commercials that I have seen one time where there was, an interracial couple and it got pulled because someone in America didn't like it and they spoke up about it, or groups spoke up about it, and it was pulled off the air. So when she says media, and when I think of the media, I think now you're being inclusive. You're starting to include this because you realize there are other type of families out there, and these people need to be represented as well. So I'm not so sure I'm on board with what she's saying with the media is now, putting it out there for black men to be with white women and black men are falling for it. When she said that, that's what I got from that, and I don't understand that reasoning at all. I mean, do you have a different perspective on what she's saying when she says she thinks the media is, perpetuating this type of behavior?
No, I think you hit it kind of right on the head. It's basically, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, she's all hung up on the media, as if you would watch shows that are on television. I'm just gonna put it out there, like Blackish or Mixes. I think that's one of them. So, as if you were a black man and you would watch a show where there's an interracial couple, and in the back of your mind, it would hit you like a light bulb. Oh, I need to go out and be with a white woman because I saw it on television. I mean, she's not giving anybody, very much credit for thinking on their own. Could it just be that maybe that particular black person or black men are, that's what they find attractive? It's about you being attractive. I'm not going to let the media tell me who I should and shouldn't be attracted to. To me, that's a very blanket statement. I really don't know where she's coming from with that. But we shall continue on. And like I said, we're going to skip around. Okay, so.
And started kind of lobbying against him to not do this Oscar show. Because
Here
Kevin was at first refusing to apologize. He was like, look, you guys went back years and years digging up stuff in my social media. I'm not about to apologize for that. It was a joke. And I'm not going to, it wasn't directed at gay people. Yeah, all right. Well, after a while, Kevin had to issue an apology. And that's always classic to me. That's always an indicator of some nonsense going on, because people can't just speak their mind. They got to go back and apologize all the time. This swirling situation, do not fall for it, guys. Black men, they're trying to swallow you up. Yeah, they're trying to swallow you up. They want to mislead you. You have to ask yourself, why would they be promoting me to go with white women? Is this in my best interest? And it's absolutely not. It's not. And I'm actually trying to figure out how to do get my Google set up, because I have another friend of mine who's also mixed race. And, you know, we discuss these issues quite regularly through Facebook. So I'm trying to figure out how to get my Google Hangouts online so that he and I can do a show about it on my channel. Because, you know, when you have mixed race kids, people act like they're so pretty and they're so desirable. A lot of times they're cute. You know, babies are cute. You know, people that are different can be really attractive. And, you know, I think a lot of times people kind of fantasize about these different kind of concoctions of people. You know, Asians and blacks, Latinos and black. It's usually a black and something else. You know, white and black, you know, Korean and black, all this type of stuff. And they want to see, like, oh, what's the kid going to look like? What's the kid going to turn out to be? Well, the looks is one part of it, which is really shallow and superficial. But the issue of them growing up, their identity is so complex and difficult, especially if both sides of their family is trying to put the input, the cultural input. You know what I mean? For instance, like an Asian and African person, it's going to be complex. It's not nearly as popular Indians with non-Indians, but, you know, sometimes they get with white people and they have conflicts with the whites. You know, a lot of times the whites want that mixed race child, but they want to bring them up in their mentality, in their way. So there's a lot of conflict when the non-white parent wants to share their cultural input and wants to bring the child up, you know, in their way. And it just creates a lot of confusion. And that's just flat out what it's all about, you know.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that there. Now, I guess I take exception to what she says about, you know, having mixed race kids. I mean, my father, after he and my mom divorced, he dated exclusively white women. I have a sister who's a product, you know, of an interracial relationship, and I have a brother who is. So, I guess I don't understand when she means where if you know, you're in an interracial relationship and you have a kid, that child is going to be mixed up, like they're not going to know where they belong. It's not that I don't understand that. I can understand not people saying, oh, I don't have an identity. But quite frankly, it really depends on, and I think she touched on this, and I don't know if it actually came through or I stopped it too early, but she touched on this. It really depends on how your kid looks. You know, I don't think, at least it wasn't our idea, and I don't think that a lot of interracial couples get together just to make babies that they think are pretty. Or they get in these relationships just because they think that they want to have a kid that's pretty. And when you're saying something like that, you're discounting all children that, you know, you can't be pretty unless you were the product of an interracial relationship. And to me, that's crazy. It really is, because again, I don't think people are saying, oh, you know, I want to be with you because, yeah, I think we'd have some pretty kids. To me, all babies are beautiful. So if you're thinking that, you know, you're not thinking that two black people having a baby is beautiful. You're not thinking that two white people having a baby is beautiful. So I don't know where she's coming from that. I think she may be touching back on some things that have stemmed from slavery times, you know, where if you're with a lighter person, then you're going to produce a lighter child, and somehow that child is going to have it better in the world. That's slave mentality. So I don't really think in these days and times people are thinking that way. I think they're just, I think she's putting too much emphasis on this. I think it's just really about people looking for love, and where they find it is where they find it. Why can't we be happy with that? Why do we always have to make it be these other nefarious reasons that people are getting together and they're trying to wipe out one race versus another? Why does it have to be that? Why can't it just be, I found John, he found me, we fell in love, in the story? Do you know what I mean?
I remember growing up as a teenager, and I let it be known to my family members that I like dark-skinned women. That was, you know, I wasn't trying to hide anything or anything like that. they knew from a young age. I even remember my mom saying one time, and I was probably like mid-teens, early teens, "Oh, John's probably going to marry a black woman." And after I let it be known that they were basically the women that I was attracted to, I remember certain family members saying, "Well, you should think about your kids. What are your kids going to look like? What are they going to go through?" And it's a guilt trip, because I'm not interracial myself. Like, I'm not half black, half white, so I can't be in your shoes if you are. But I can tell you one thing: growing up in the 54 years that I've been on this earth, you are always going to have obstacles as a person, a being on this earth. Some obstacles are going to be harder than others, but no one goes scot-free without having obstacles in their life. It's not about the obstacles, but it's basically about the people around you. If you're in a loving family, those obstacles, anything can be overcome. But it's more about being in a loving family and having two parents that really care about you, and a family nucleus that does. The whole thing with color and stuff like that, to me, I think it's kind of a waste, because basically the only people that are being hurt are the people that are in love, that don't want to go for it. And I encourage anybody, if you have someone in your life, or you know someone, or you want to be with someone, I encourage you to go for it, and don't let the whole color barrier stop you. That's all I got to say about that.
Or why should it be a barrier?
Right.
You know, she's saying that, you think that having, if we had kids, or there's an interracial relationship and the baby is a product of that, they're going to be a certain color. Do you see these people out here that have twins? One twin is black, the other one's white. How do you genetics will come up and bite you in the ass every single time. So if you were getting with a white person,
you said ass.
It's ass.
You're so sexy when you curse.
Oh, stop it. People, it is, because if you're black and you are procreating with a white person just because you think your kids are going to be a different hue, a lighter hue, you could have a baby just as dark as I am, or darker. How did that happen? So genetics, yeah, don't bet on that, because it will go back. You may be black and all your family are of a lighter hue, and have always been because of somebody way back in your ancestry, and everybody is just a little bit darker than John, and then you have a baby that's darker than me, my complexion or darker, and you're like, how does that happen? Genetics. So what I'm saying is, don't bank on, just because you are procreating with someone that's lighter than you, that your baby is somehow going to be like. I don't know where she's going with that, but I got to get off that, because like I said, I have, a brother and sister that's a product of an interracial relationship, and are their problems any different than anyone else's? No. Were their problems growing up as teenagers anything different because their father was black and their mother was white? I don't really think so, because I know my brother and my sister. So what I'm saying is, all people grow up with issues. Do I think that intermixed children, or if that's what you want to call them or whatever, have any more difficulties than anybody else? No. It's just the growing up pains. Everybody's going to grow. You're a teenager, you have teenage issues. Is it any more compounded because you happen to be a product of an interracial relationship? I can't say that. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think, bullying goes across the board, problems go across the board. People always want to look and put color into that, but sometimes it's just human nature and what you're going through. So, think of it that way. It's not that anybody else's problems are any other worse, or, teenage problems, or you being of a, the product of a mixed race, somehow your problems are compounded. It may be, you may think it is, and you're fine with that, but is it, in the grand scheme of things, is it really any different? And I think people rest a lot of laurels on that, and I'm not so sure that's the case. So we're going to move ahead with her, because we made some notes on this, because I couldn't just wing it, because I thought she's saying some stuff that really needs to be addressed. So let's
I think.
to pick up here.
What do you do when your car needs servicing? And where do you find a shop you can trust?
Whoops, got a commercial here. Unfortunately, we can't get through that. So.
Yeah, just play whatever
Introducing
sound.
confident.
That good morning, T. Kelly. Thanks for tuning in, sweetie. I see you in the chat room. I think that, and actually, T. Kelly and I, we talked about this. T. Kelly's one of my very.
All right, we're about to.
They were sleeping with a lot of people. I mean, these are stereotypes, but I'm just saying, I think a lot of times those kids were searching and they were trying to identify themselves. And the society that we live in is going to make you choose. You know, there's no like multiracial race. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be like, oh, you're black or you're white. And it really boils down to how you look. You know, if you look more black, they're going to see you as black. If you look more whatever, they're going to, I mean, it's difficult to be classed as white unless you look white, period. If you look anything other than that, they're going to be calling you black, Asian, Spanish, whatever. And these mixed race kids are in the mindset like, oh, but I'm not black, I'm this and that. I'm a mixture. I'm this, like Tiger Woods. Tiger, as black as he is, as brown as he is, this man talking about I'm combination. I'm Asian and I'm black. No, when they see you, they see black, homie. They don't say, oh, look at this famous combination golfer. No, you're the black golfer. Okay? That's how the world is going to, like, corral your children. But I think that they're targeting black men because black men are so essential to the growth of the community. They control the growth of a generation with their seed. If they're busy diluting their seed pretty much and having non-black children, that's going to impact the generation to come, and that's why they're trying to convince you to not do it. Don't you wonder, black men, don't you wonder why every sitcom has the black man with the white woman? Does it come to your mind, why don't they have black families? Why don't they ever have the black man with the black girl? Why are the two black characters on the show? Why are they're not even friends, or they're not even romantically involved? But
okay, so she's still going back to the media somehow controlling all of this. I don't know, about you guys out there, but I'm pretty much my own person. I very much walk to the beat of my own drum. So I'm not going to let, just because somebody's showing these families or these situations on television, dictate my life. So if there are people out there that you look for how to live your life by what you see on television, more power to you. So I think she's giving, again, a little bit too much credibility to the media somehow orchestrating all of this. I don't see it, just because maybe I don't see it because I just don't see life that way. To me, it's a big leap. That's a big stretch to say that I see that on television, so now I'm going to live my life like that. There may be some people like that. There may be some people that are dealing with issues that they feel that they need to do that. But again, that's them. I think what it boils down to is just let people live their life the way they want to. If there are people out there, if there are black people out there that think that being with a white person is somehow going to make their life better, go on and do what you have to do. You're probably going to find that it does not make your life better. You're going to have the same problems, and you're looking for love in the wrong place. So if that's all you're doing, then you're probably not going to find. You're probably not going to be happy anyway. But for those that are out there that are looking for true love and really happiness, and does not see the color of a person's skin as stopping that from happening, then live your life. That's really all you have to do, right?
Well said.
Okay, then. All right, so I'm thinking, do we really want to go on any more with her? I mean, she made some other points.
I think you should hit on that one right there.
The pro-black.
I think you should.
She come up with 11. Yeah. Okay, so let me just scroll ahead to. Let's see. It's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little
because they're being brought up here in England, they're a lot more westernized, and they date outside. A lot of those people like to date black people.
She's
as well.
in England,
but I'm still going to hold the torch and say don't do it. If you're pro-black, your whole motif should be building a black family. That should be foundational for you. And no, I'm going to go ahead and ask, because I do periodically have some coons get on the video, and they're going to ask, well, if you have an interracial relationship, does that mean you can't be pro-black? Hey, you're a contradiction right then and there. Pro means for black, pro-black, for black. Okay, that's the illustration, for black. If you're for black, that's paramount. Okay, that means above and beneath, above other concepts. Okay, so if you're pro-black, then your blackness comes first, and black entities come first, and the needs and the concerns of black people comes first. You should be pursuing a black family. Period, point blank. There's no mystery to it. There's no gray area to it. You know what I mean? If you don't want a black family, for instance, then you're not in the pro-black category. How can you be in the pro-black category if you're not using your life as an example towards that type of life?
Go ahead. You want to say something. Let me put the glasses on. We're going to get down now.
All right, so I had this discussion with a bunch of ladies who are a great bunch of ladies on this channel called Joy Moore, and the question was, can you be in an interracial relationship? Can I be with a black man and still be pro-black? My problem with that comment that she just made about, if you are in an interracial relationship, you can't be pro-black, you can't be for black. What does that actually mean? Because I'm black and I'm never going to be able to change that. Nobody looks at me and sees anything other than a black woman with a white man. So why is it that because I'm a black woman with a white man, all of a sudden I've lost my black card? I can't do anything black. I hate black people. I don't want to associate with them. I'm not going to buy black. I'm not going to do it. If anybody knows me, they know I'm the most militant person ever. So, am I down with the cause? Yeah, I don't get, because I'm with John, who's white,
and militant,
in his own way, and how does that make me all of a sudden a non-black person? I don't get the correlation, and I don't really get how she and other people like her jump to that conclusion so quick. Oh, you're with a white man, you can't be pro-black, you can't be a sister, you can't be down with the cause. Why not? I am a sister, I am down with the cause. Why not? Just because I'm with him, that all of a sudden makes me non-black? That comment and that idea above all else gets under my skin so much, because I'm like, I'm a black woman. I don't have to show that every day. So how does me being with someone white undermine all that? I don't get it. What does being pro-black mean to people who say stuff like that? You just rattled off a whole bunch of stuff. You got to buy black. You got to be black, down with the black family. You have to be for black causes. You got to stand up for things that are black. I do all those things. So now how am I not counting? Or how am I discounting and all that? How does that make me not be down or pro-black? I think when people start saying that, they need to really question themselves and what it is that they're asking and what it is they're asking of other people, and not just make blanket statements or generalizations because you think that's what's happening. That's easy to say. Oh, she with a white man, she's not down with the black cause. I don't get it. And again, like I said, that above all else really gets under my skin, because I really think that people are saying that really don't know what they're talking about. It's easy to say that. They want to jump on the bandwagon. To me, like now it's like the new 60s. Every 20 or 30 years, the same thing keeps coming back around and back around again. And we're still fighting the same causes that we've been fighting all along. And why is that? You may think you get a little bit better, and then you just tumble right back down, and now we're fighting the same things all over again. So when is that going to stop? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about trying to get the world in a better place than, somebody that's looking for love and happen to find that love with someone that you don't approve of. You don't have to approve of it. You don't walk in my shoes, you don't live my life. You don't pay my bills. You don't do anything this crediting me. So why am I listening to you? Everybody has an opinion. That's your opinion, not mine. What you got to say, ZZ Top?
That was actually very mild. I thought you were going to go into the whoop ass phase, so that's why I put the glasses on.
I don't need to, because, you know, like I said, everybody's got an opinion. You know, that's her opinion. She stands by. Just in my opinion, I stand by it. And that's probably a good place to end with her.
Yeah, and I think what Ronnie's trying to say is the relationship you're in shouldn't never ever change the person you are. I've been with Ronnie for, this is where I get in trouble, 12 years. Huh?
Yeah, and
Okay.
we've been married coming up on next month.
May
May.
14th.
And he remembered.
Yeah, you know why?
May 14th.
Touchdowns.
Oh God, he wraps it up in football, so that's how he
Okay.
remembers it.
Two touchdowns.
Hey, whatever you gotta do to remember
14.
the anniversary, I'm fine with it. But yeah, we'll be married 10 years in May, and we've known each other for 12.
Yeah, and in those 12 years, Ronnie's the same person that she was. Just because she's with me, she ain't turned whiteness.
I wouldn't know
Yeah.
how.
She's the same person she was. You know, to me, like I said, again, you're talking about family. You know, pro family. We should be pro family, not pro color of a family. I mean, I can understand to a certain extent what she's trying to say, but I think when you put color into it, rather than, you know, there's good families, there's bad families in every color, and the goal is to have an excellent family unit around you that loves you, again, and that's what it really comes down to. But when you start breaking people down, and this is a prime example, my ex-wife, my parents loved my ex-wife. She was white. You know, that woman put me through 20 years of living hell. It almost felt like a prison sentence by the time I got divorced. She was white. She was the right color in their eyes, but she was the wrong person for me. And that's why I say you can't judge everything on the color of a person. If you're going to do that and you're looking for love, you're going to get burned. Take it from somebody who, you know, and I was young at the time. I was pushed into it because people were like, oh, she's such a good girl. I could tell you stories that would make your skin crawl.
Those are stories, because we're going to tell those stories, because they need to be heard. Because you know how you think, oh, well, that can't be true. Somebody had to make that up. No, we can't make this stuff up. So we'll definitely get into more of these discussions. But I think the important thing between John and I and this whole, you know, concept of not being pro-black, we came into this relationship. I didn't try to change John, and he didn't try to change me. We both came in with our perceptions of what we thought the relationship was going to be like, you know. And one thing about us that we do all the time is we discuss everything. We don't agree all the time, but we will talk about it. And when we can't come to a meeting of the minds, we always say we agree to disagree on that and move on. You can't just keep dwelling on things, because we're not going to agree on everything, because he's very much his own person, I'm very much my own person. We're both stubborn, you know. So it's not always about trying to change the other person's mind. It's just about trying to enlighten them a little bit so they can see what it is. He can see what I'm saying, I can see what he's saying. I might not understand it, I might not agree with it, but I can empathize and I can say, okay, yeah, that's how you feel. And that's all we can hope to do. We're not trying to change each other. We're not even trying to change the world. We hope that, you know, with us, these little discussions that we have or whatever, you get a little glimpse into our life and how things are out there. You might not be experiencing it. You may not even know about it. So it may be something that enlightens you or opens up your eyes. But that's pretty much why, you know, we decided to kind of do this video, because this kind of struck a chord. Definitely struck a chord with me. It definitely struck a chord with John, because he found it and showed it to me. But yeah, it's some interesting things out there. Like I said, the social media thing is very interesting. Everybody wants to get on and tell their story, their side of things, and I think it's important that people. I'm not even bashing her because this is why we wanted to do it. I just don't want to give her any credibility if people go and they'll watch it because if you're looking for anything that's interracial or anti-swirling, there's plenty of stuff out there. You can go find people that are spewing forth hate any time of the day you want to. It's just that I didn't want to do that on our channel, but I did want to address some of the things that she was saying because I think a lot of people feel that way. And for me, I need to know. I want that in my face. I want to know that you feel that way because I don't want to be walking next to you or sitting next to you at work or church or anything else and you're feeling that way, but you're putting on a different face. I want, to me, and John might not understand, I want the hatred right here in my face so I can deal with it. I don't want to have you laughing and joking, kikiing in my face, and then behind my back calling me a bunch of names, and I don't know it, and I'm thinking that you're an okay person to be with, or you're my friend, or however you're presenting yourself, but, you really got a mask on. That I don't want, right in my face. That's what I need to see, and that's what I need to do.
And I think, too, like, nowadays everybody talks about the cancel culture and stuff like that. Let's just erase it and start over again. I think it's better to confront the issues that you have. Like I said, we don't have no hate toward this woman. We disagree with her thinking, her line of thinking, but, rather than erase it, let's talk about it.
Yes.
And that's basically what it comes down to. It ain't about the hate. It's about different ideas and coming to a point. But like I said, to me, we don't dislike this woman or anything like that. We dislike the ideas and what she's saying because, again, like what Ronnie said, she's got like a lot of racist stuff going on in there, separating people's color and stuff like that. We're just trying to bring it to the surface. Right. And as Ronnie would say, keep it real.
Keep it real and have a discussion about it. You should always be able to have a discussion, a dialogue, as I like to call it, about everything. You're not going to agree, but you got to at least be willing to sit down and talk about it. And I think that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because they may not want to hear what the other person has to say. Me, I listen. I observe and listen to everything because I want to know where somebody's coming from. And sometimes it's not what the person says, is what they don't say. It's their body language. It's things that you pick up on that you just know. So my whole thing is you should be able to talk about it. I might not agree with it. I don't have to agree with it, but I want to hear what you have to say. You should be able to listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with it, but at least be willing to listen and have that discussion. And I think that's part of the problem. People aren't willing to have the discussion. We talk about everything, and I think that's the way people should be. So, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think you got it pretty much hit on the head there today, babe.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Like, share, and subscribe if you would like to. We like doing these things because, we like having these discussions, along with the lightheartedness things that you see us when we're out in the road and out and about and things like that. But, every once in a while we like to take it down a little bit and really deal with some things in the culture that need to be discussed. So that's what our discussions are about. So again, thank you so much for watching. This is John and Ronnie saying peace and love.
Drop the mic.
Oh God, here he goes. I'm trying to cut this off. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this. Alright, peace and love. I lost the mouse. Yeah, hey, we keep it real. This is things that go on when we do these videos. So, I don't edit anything because I'm like, these videos are live with us and raw. So you just want to see what you see. So
yeah, I think that gives us a special flair to it.
This is us being us. Goofy and whatever happens.
You hear the dog barking in the background.
Dog barking, Scooby-Doo.
Earlier in the video, I dropped this little spinner thing I like to play with when we're talking. That's good stuff.
That's just us.
Yeah. We're not sitting here trying to make it perfect. We're just trying to make it real.
Exactly, and that's what you get from us. So, again, thank you so much for
Thank you all.
watching.
God bless you all.
Guys, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.